Thank you, Madam Administrator, for being here, and I apologize with the raspy voice. It's been going around a bit, so apologies. I just wanted to start off by saying welcome and thank you. It's always nice to see another member of Red Sox Nation here today, so and certainly in front of our committee.
Go Sox.
Yeah, there you go. I want to thank you for all your hard work over the past several months, and I look forward to very much working with you in the years ahead. I had a couple of questions, if you don't mind, and first is actually an issue that's pertaining to my district a bit. Over the past few decades, EPA has made really admirable progress in attacking the lingering pollution and contamination issues in local municipalities. That, left unchecked, would have dire long-term health and safety consequences, not to mention financial ones. Back home in my district, just outside of Boston, the 4th District in Massachusetts, I hear concerns about the cost of compliance with some of those regulations at almost every city and town I visit. They don't disagree with the importance of these regulations, but the communities struggle to get back on their feet post-recession and deal with an already crippling loss of state and federal dollars due to our budget situation here. That price tag of compliance can seem nearly impossible. In 1992, the city of Fall River was ordered to tackle a combined sewage overflow project that is estimated to have cost them $185 million to date, along with $8 million in debt payments every year. This is an old industrial city with an unemployment rate around 13% and median household income that struggles to break $30,000 a year. Similarly, Milford is looking at $100,000 a year additional spending to meet new regulations for stormwater management. They've also included a new pilot program to reduce phosphorus runoff in local rivers and waterways. But the price tag around that is about $111 million up front, a price tag which, if borne by the town, would be felt tremendously by local businesses. The surrounding towns of Franklin and Bellingham are both looking at bills of about $75 million and $35 million, respectively, through the same pilot program. When I talk to local officials and businesses, they have a genuine desire to be EPA compliant. They're bringing up their children and grandchildren in these same neighborhoods, and they see the value of clean air and clean water. They're tremendously concerned about the effects of contamination, pollution, and other environmental hazards, then how they wreak havoc on their hometowns, and they know the associated costs of long-term savings. But they're stuck, and so I wanted to ask you, in your opinion, is there any assistance that the federal government, not just EPA, but the federal government, can give these already strapped municipalities that are struggling with the cost of compliance? And again, I ask this, of course, given the understanding the fiscal constraints that our government is under right now, but knowing that obviously this is an issue that is important to you as well. So if you could respond for a minute or so, I'd be grateful.
Thank you for raising this, and your voice in this discussion would be really welcome. We are working on these issues pretty diligently, primarily with the Conference of Mayors, because all of them understand these challenges, why it's important for their public health and their environmental resources that we tackle these more challenging water quality issues. But we're working on this on a number of different fronts, and EPA clearly has funds available to help support this. Is it enough to go around? No, it isn't. It's never expected to be. It will be a challenge. We try to prioritize that and make sure that we're getting the biggest bang for the buck and helping those most in need. So we are trying to work on a way to make this a much more collaborative process, where we understand the constraints that the cities and towns are in, and we don't expect things that they cannot deliver, but we work more in partnership to find the least cost opportunities to make continued environmental progress moving forward.
Thank you. And then, Madam Administrator, if I can ask, and I apologize, I had to step out for a moment, but my understanding there's been 2 studies that have been much discussed today. If I can refer shorthand to them, it's a Harvard study and the ACS, or American Cancer Society study. Is that right?
Yes.
Your understanding. Would you characterize those institutions as reputable?
Yes.
Well-known?
Yes.
Capable and producing well-regarded scientific study other than these past studies?
I would.
Have these 2 studies, they've been peer-reviewed?
Many times.
By who?
Through contractors for the agency, through the national community, through EPA.
Through EPA, and sometimes through public-private partnerships?
Yes.
And so that review, is that all government funded?
No.
No. So in fact, part of that funding was done by a group that was actually funded by automotive industry. Is that right?
Yeah, many.
Okay. Thank you. Yield back my time.